Christmas song.
Good morning, America, and Merry Christmas. This morning, we're celebrating around the world, from Notre Dame to Windsor, all the way to Philly.
Maybe this Christmas will mean something more.
Plus, Christmas magic in the mountains.
Everybody's waiting for the man with the bag, 'cause Christmas is coming again.
The man with the bag delivered. Becky Worley is unwrapping important tips when it comes to your gifts, including what to do if you got your kids new tech or gift cards. Will you have many happy returns or pricey ones?
Step into Christmas with the legendary Sir Elton John. I'm one-on-one with the Rocket Man on his new chapter, his retirement from touring, his family, and what he hopes for in the new year.
Santa, tell me if you're really there.
And Dunk the Halls. The Knicks and the Spurs are getting animated. With a little help from Mickey and the gang, let's have a very merry GMA Christmas.
Good morning, America. Merry Christmas to everyone at home and everyone here in our studio.
Yep. We're pre-recorded this morning. That's why I did that. So all of us can celebrate at home, too. And we hope that you're having a fantastic holiday.
Merry Christmas to all of you. We have a lot of joy ahead. And right now, we want to get to the morning's top headlines with Erielle Reshef.
Good morning, George. Happy holidays. We begin with storms stretching from coast to coast. Frigid temperatures in the east are creating treacherous road conditions, and in the west, several states are expecting snow. ABC's Andrew Dimbert has the latest.
This morning, millions of Americans waking up to a white Christmas, some for the first time in years. On the West Coast, families strapping on snow chains and heading to the Sierra Mountains to spend time in the snow.
Christmas cheer. It's so happy here. Everyone is so happy and everyone's sliding so fast, and I love it.
More than an inch expected to be on the ground in at least 9 states in the West and across at least 10 states from Minnesota all the way to Maine. After a snowfall on Christmas Eve in New York City, residents there hoping to see their first white Christmas since 2009. That Christmas Eve winter blast making for slick roads for last-minute holiday travelers from Philadelphia to New York to Boston. In New York City, a man was killed after he got out of his vehicle because of a minor accident on an off-ramp and was pinned by another driver. And stress at airports across the country yesterday morning after a technical problem forced American Airlines to ground all of their flights nationwide for an hour.
I was a little worried when I saw the news, so looks good for now. So Santa Claus is coming through for me.
More than 5,000 flights delayed yesterday. Some of them thanks to a ground stop in Dallas for thunderstorms. Storms battering the area. The National Weather Service warning residents to be on the lookout for flooded roads. Parts of Texas, Oklahoma, Arkansas, and Louisiana now bracing for the potential of damaging wind and even tornadoes.
Storms are expected to bring a lot more precipitation to the West Coast, bringing up to 6 inches of rain and up to 4 feet of snow in some areas.
Lots of winter weather out there, Andrew. Thank you. Former President Bill Clinton was released from a Washington, D.C. hospital just in time for Christmas. The 78-year-old was treated for the flu during a one-day stay after developing a fever. Turning now to that terrifying boat explosion in Fort Lauderdale Monday night. One person is confirmed to have died, and we're now hearing from witnesses who rushed to help. ABC's Allison Cossack has that story.
This morning, authorities in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, trying to figure out what caused this deadly boat explosion. The blast captured by an EarthCam webcam, the boat nearly splitting in half, ripping apart in a ball of fire while docked at this marina Monday night.
We received multiple 911 calls from witnesses stating they saw a boat explode, there was a boat on fire, and there were people in the water.
A local restaurant worker saw the explosion and rushed in to help.
One guy was on fire, another person was in the water. It was just like, it was like chaos, all at once.
The fire department says one person killed with 5 others injured, 3 of them with traumatic injuries.
There's 2 boats on fire.
Newly released video from a firefighter's helmet shows crews racing to douse the growing flames in the water.
Just keep it right there. Keep it on that fire right there. Keep it on the fire right there.
Hours after the blast, the blackened remains of the boat visible just below the surface. It's still not clear what sparked the explosion. Officials say they'll get a better idea once they lift what's left of the boat out of the water.
Officials have identified the person who was killed as a 41-year-old man from Quebec, Canada.
Thinking of that victim's family this morning. Allison, thank you. Some Christmas presents won't be arriving for the holiday after an Amazon delivery truck went up in flames near Allentown, Pennsylvania. The driver was dropping off a package and was not in the van at the time this fire erupted. Thankfully, no injuries reported. And now here's a look at your weather.
Early in the morning, it's the dawn of a new day. New hopes, new dreams, new ways. I open up my heart and I'm gonna do my part and make this a positively beautiful day. It's a beautiful day. Good morning, America.
And those are your top stories this Christmas morning. Happy holidays, guys.
Now to one of the most inspiring sights of the holiday season, the reopening of the Notre Dame Cathedral in Paris. Ginger takes us inside the centuries-old church, once again open to the public. Merry Christmas, Ginger.
Hey, Merry Christmas to you all. And you know, this is such a big story for the year and so beautiful. The beloved landmark has welcomed the faithful and visitors since the 1100s. Now, after 5 years, the doors have reopened. Our friends at National Geographic take us inside to see how it has been returned to its former glory.
Millions watched as the famous spire atop Notre Dame came crashing down in 2019. And now, National Geographic getting rare access to the cathedral as more than 2,000 work to resurrect the beloved landmark. Thomas van Houtreve, one of the few allowed to document the restoration.
Because of the lead contamination on the site, they sort of set up these barriers and locker rooms before you could get inside. You have to take off your street clothes and put on a hazmat suit. So it was kind of a universe all of its own, this hive of activity.
After 5 years of nonstop work, Notre Dame is now reopened, a stunning feat.
The initial construction of the cathedral took over 180 years. So it is really amazing that France managed to sort of take this old know-how, which hadn't been completely lost, and also their latest technology, and combine them in a really quick way. It's one of the most popular monuments in the world, and of course it has special meanings at Christmas time.
In that short time, more than 2,000 statues and decorative features were restored or recreated, including the 52 famous Chimera statues. 43,000 square feet of lead was used to repair the destroyed roof. The spire now standing tall again, with one unique change.
Everything else has been rebuilt identically as it was before the fire, except for the rooster on the very, very top. And the main thing they changed is that the wings sort of turn into flames as they go up. And so it looks a little bit more like, you know, the mythical phoenix rising from the ashes. It's the only thing that's been restylized. Everything else, they try to get it as close as possible to the original construction.
Amazingly, it's not just the fire damage that was fixed. Other parts of Notre Dame got a top-to-bottom cleaning and refurbishment. We are told that the inside feels brand new. You can find the full collection of images at natgeo.com. That's where I'm going to be looking.
Oh, I know. I love them.
Me too.
So great.
So good.
All right, Ginger, thank you. Let's go to France now, from France to the UK, to celebrate Christmas at Windsor Castle. Lama Hasan has a look at the festive makeover at the royal residence.
The festive season is finally here, and the royal residence in Windsor is getting in the holiday spirit.
This is so exciting. We're inside Windsor Castle, so come with us to look at the dazzling decorations over the festive period.
We got a sneak preview of the castle's Christmas.
Wow, look at this. It's magnificent.
Decked with thousands of twinkling lights, hundreds of baubles and 8 trees, the ancient castle was once home to Queen Elizabeth and where Prince William and Kate frequently hold royal meetings.
Come along, guys, because we are stepping into Christmas and 1,000 years of royal history right here at Windsor Castle. This is the Crimson Drawing Room. It is described as one of the most elaborate rooms here at Windsor Castle, and it's easy to see why.
And for the first time ever, Queen Mary's doll's house, one of the most famous in the world, is getting a Christmas makeover to celebrate its 100th anniversary.
It's a really special object and people love to see it, so having Christmas decorations in there for the first time is really exciting.
The centerpiece of the festive display is the 20-foot fir tree in St. George's Hall, which has grown nearby in Windsor Hope Park.
So it's always particularly popular with families at this time of year because obviously the decorations add to that atmosphere and there are activities to take part in. So it's always a family time.
Lama Hasan, ABC News, Windsor.
Thank you, Lama. And here in the U.S., the town of Leavenworth, Washington could be the most Christmassy town in the country thanks to hundreds of thousands of lights, a gingerbread factory, and reindeer. Will Gans checked it out.
There's Christmas magic in these mountains.
Magical. Festive. Wonderful.
With more than 500,000 Christmas lights, making this the most Christmassy cosmopolis south of the North Pole.
Good morning, America, from Leavenworth, Washington.
Nestled in the foothills of the towering Cascade Mountains of the Pacific Northwest, the business of Christmas is booming.
This last weekend was a 20% gain from the pedestrian counts over last year.
Decorating starts in early October, taking a team more than 1,000 hours, with lights weighing a total of 6,000 pounds. Erica Bowie and her family, now 3 generations strong, run Leavenworth Reindeer Farm.
I'm able to see 1,000 people a day that come to me and they go, I can't believe you get to live on a reindeer farm and do this for work.
What would you say is the biggest misconception people have about reindeer?
Reindeer do not eat carrots.
What?
Reindeer need soft foods to eat.
The Gingerbread Factory celebrating 35 years of sweet success.
We just keep baking. We have a line out the door and we're shipping as well.
Do you have a favorite creation that you've made?
Yes.
And?
It was the Seahawks Stadium.
And the gumdrop on top?
We've become a lot of people's family traditions.
It's an incredible joy. And the fact that we get to be a part of these folk stories is an honor and a privilege.
Now to Show Me the Money Holiday Edition. DeMarco Morgan plays Santa for some holiday shoppers in Chicago just in time for Christmas.
Nothing captures the magic of the season quite like Chicago's Chris Kendall Market. More than 50 vendors from all around the world are spreading that warm holiday cheer. Hot chocolate, please. And while it is the season of giving, these shoppers are also hoping it could be the season of receiving. Our festive Show Me the Money booth, manned by Santa's helpers from the Illinois State Treasurer's Office, looking up names to see if anyone has any unclaimed money hidden in their stockings. And if you find money, you get the idea. Happy holidays! This woman ringing in $42, money she's already putting to good use.
We bought some chocolates that were paid for on behalf of the State Treasury. Thank you. Show me the money!
This couple rejoicing after learning they too have some amount of missing money owed to them from an employer.
Well, you know what? See, God is good all the time, baby.
And all the time. Turned out to be $26. And this woman flying away with a sleigh full of cash.
425, 24.
High five, mama! Wow!
Wow, that's gonna help.
That money from an old savings account she thought she closed. So how can this happen? Let's ask Illinois State Treasurer Michael Frericks.
People may have multiple accounts at a bank, and they call to close them all, but the bank only closes one of them. Sometimes there's a mistake.
But there's no mistake about the Santa-sized surprise waiting for the local Salvation Army. Denisha Paluska.
Yes.
Is that your name?
That is my
I'm
name.
DeMarco from Good Morning America. How are you?
I'm good, thank you.
Why do you do what you do?
Love people. Love God, love people. And when we see a need, we just want to meet it.
And you know that when you give back, it comes back to you.
Oh, yes.
Well, look at this check right here. So this is $63,786.17, and it's for all of the Salvation Army of Greater Chicago chapters.
Oh, my goodness. That is fantastic. Oh, my goodness.
Bravo, right?
Thank you.
Happy
Yes.
holidays. The Treasury says most of that money, donations that for some reason never made it to the Salvation Army. Now, some of that $63,000 going directly to her Chicago Community Center.
Words can't express how grateful we are. This is gonna make a tremendous difference. We see families who just don't even have simple, basic things. So this is tremendous. So thank you.
To find out if you're owed lost cash, go to missingmoney.com. If a website asks for fees or percentage, it's not an official website. You can look for family and friends and surprise them with a holiday gift of lost funds.
Well, just keep it for yourself.
Yeah.
Oh, that's not the Christmas spirit,
That's not the
is
Christmas
it?
spirit.
Sorry about that. Are you ready to dunk the halls? So many of us celebrate Christmas with our favorite NBA stars, and this year you can see the first ever animated game happening in real time. Will Reeve has a preview of what you'll see on the cartoon court.
It's a holiday slam dunk with Mickey, Minnie, Donald, Daisy, Pluto, and Goofy.
Oh my! How fun!
Cheering on the Spurs and Knicks on Christmas Day. And the beloved characters are getting in on the action as the NBA heads to Main Street, USA in Disney's Magic Kingdom.
Let's get this game started!
The virtual live recreation of Dunk the Halls is getting a major alley-oop from ESPN VPs of production and animation Phil Orlins and Michael Spike Chekhovny. And they're giving GMA a first look.
That's huge in itself, right? To be able to use Mickey, Minnie, Donald, Daisy, Pluto, and Goofy, and play the game on Main Street in Walt Disney World. That's our environment.
The ultimate immersive basketball experience will feature cutting-edge technology and top Disney animators replicating players from both teams, down to the last details like hairstyles and height.
It's an exciting and interesting challenge because, you have this, first of all, the players themselves, we have this recreation of the basketball game from the data of the game with animated characters in their place. And the basketball characters are much different, more visible than the other sports we've done where we're in helmets and uniforms or fully covered uniforms.
What Disney character is like 1,000,000 feet tall who could be Victor Wembanyama?
Goofy.
Is Goofy the tall one?
Tallest one.
Okay.
Dunk the Halls also aims to teach young viewers the technical side of basketball.
Dropping a dime is when a player makes a difficult or super precise pass to their teammate, and then the teammate tries to score.
It's more than just another fun game of hoops. It's a family experience full of Disney surprises.
We're going to see how many hidden Mickeys you can find, because that's a big Disney thing, right? So if you're watching at home, you're going to see how many churros Goofy can eat. They're going to be decorating a big Christmas tree. There's going to be a special dunk contest where the Disney characters are having a dunk contest, and who will win?
For Good Morning America, Will Reeve, ABC News, New York.
What will they think of next? You can see the Dunk the Halls when the New York Knicks take on the Spurs at noon Eastern on ESPN2 and Disney+. And the NBA gifts keep coming with 5 games on ABC and ESPN. It all starts at high noon.
All right, coming up, as you unwrap your Christmas presents, Becky Worley has important tips for setting them up and what to do with gift cards and what to know if you need to make a return.
Plus, my one-on-one interview with Sir Elton John, talking about his new chapter and so much more.
And we go behind the scenes with Jason Kelsey and some of his Philly teammates on their holiday album. We'll be right back.
I'm Steph Bergen, wishing my friends and family back in Arkansas happy holidays.
Hi, this is Captain Thatcher with the Pennsylvania Army National Guard. I just want to wish my family and friends happy holidays.
Hi, my name is Staff Sergeant Perry Gardner with the Allied Forces South Battalion, Naples, Italy. I want to say Merry Christmas to all my family and friends that are in Houston, and also Merry Christmas to all the people that are away from their family currently. Merry Christmas to everybody.
Hello, my name is Staff Sergeant Victoria Thompson. I'm stationed here in the Allied Forces South Battalion, Naples, Italy. I want to give a shout out to all my family back home, sisters and parents, and wish them all a very Merry Christmas.
Hi, this holiday message is for all my friends back in Boston and Pittsburgh. Goes out to my parents, Jen and Leah in Florida. Thank you for supporting me through this 3rd time in the Middle East. And Mom, this one's for you. I will make it back for your 70th birthday. Happy holidays.
Hi everybody, Sergeant First Class Paro, 28th ID, Ops Company Aviation Section. Wishing everybody happy holidays.
Hi guys, my name is Staff Sergeant Brianna Harris. I'm coming from the Allied Forces South Battalion in Naples, Italy. I just want to give a shout out to my family over in South Carolina, Myrtle Beach. Merry Christmas.
Hi, I am Sergeant Tikoski with the Pennsylvania Army National Guard. I just wanted to wish a safe and happy holiday season to my fiance Paige and my soon-to-be in-laws Nancy and Scott and the rest of my family.
Welcome back to GMA, and we're so glad you're stepping into Christmas morning with us. I sat down with the legendary Sir Elton John to catch up with him about his new chapter in life, his family. All that is coming up.
We want to let you know we are pre-recorded right now, so all of us can celebrate at home. We hope you are having a wonderful morning.
Now let's get to the presents, all right? You may have opened your gifts, or you're tearing off that wrapping paper right now. We understand that. Our Becky Worley has important tips for what comes next, from turning on the tech to getting the most out of gift cards.
Merry Christmas. The joy of unwrapping a present is often followed by the realization, oh, I got a little work to do to get this thing up and running. So let's start with the first thing you need to decide, are you keeping it? So returns. This year, two things happen simultaneously. First, many retailers tighten their return policies, adding restocking fees, store credit instead of cash back, or even shortening that return window. Then you have a second factor to add in. Holiday discounting started earlier than ever with big sales in October. So your gift could have been purchased way back before Halloween. Some stores have extended their return windows until January, but the clock is ticking, so you need to make a decision pretty quickly if you're going to keep a gift or take it back. Now let's move over to gift cards. They are the most popular gift given, and every year millions go unused. So the best thing to do is register a gift card to your account online. Many sites will let you input the card and the PIN number, and that credit gets registered to your online account. And this makes sure the card isn't lost, or that you can still use it if it's lost, and that a scammer can't access and drain your balance. Okay, finally, for any tech gifts that you receive, they often mandate creating new accounts. And this is a great time to think about your passwords. Unique passwords for every account. This is what protects you from getting hacked. Use a password manager like LastPass or 1Password. Having a unique password for every account is so important, and the only way you can remember them is to have a password manager. It'll not only help you retrieve all those unique passwords, but they'll auto-log you in on different devices if you have the app installed. All right, I hope some of these tips make your Christmas stress-free, maybe a little less stressful, and that you have a ton of fun playing with all your new toys today. Merry Christmas.
Now on GMA, and I had the immense pleasure of sitting down with the one and only Sir Elton John. The rockin' man spoke to me about his brand new documentary. It's called Never Too Late, where he is sharing so much about his triumphs, troubles, and what the next chapter of his life holds. Music icon Elton John welcoming GMA inside his Windsor home right outside of London, as he chronicles his life and legacy after closing the curtain on touring. The documentary, it's beautiful. The way it bookends your career and just your rise to stardom, coming out, overcoming addiction. Any part of your journey that captivates you still?
I've forgotten about the early stuff so much, and then when I saw the footage of the first 5 years and the records that we made, I was really proud of what we'd done. I was saying, God, we did a lot of incredible work in 5 years. 13 albums, come on.
Never Too Late features never-before-seen footage from the Rocket Man's 5-decade-long career.
Rocket Man, burning out his fuse off here alone.
And reveals intimate details about his tumultuous beginnings. People have been familiar, but not to that degree, about your father hating rock and roll and how you really wanted to prove him wrong.
Well, it was a different era, Robin. It was the 50s. You know, when rock and roll came in, it was like, wow, I couldn't believe it. And my mother was on my side. She was very encouraging. She wanted me to be a musician, but there was a side of her that could be incredibly abusive, and I was frightened of her. And that never changed. I wanted to leave my childhood behind, and that caught up with me. When I realized I put everything into my work, and there was nothing underneath it. I was just a void.
Reflecting on what he's overcome on his rise to fame, Elton remembers the bonds he formed along the way. You talked about being on stage, and it was electrifying for you. How has that impacted you creatively and in other ways that you don't have that time on the stage anymore?
It's wonderful. I mean, when I finished my tour in Stockholm 2 years ago, I was very excited. I was very happy. I wanted to end by playing and singing as well as I ever had. if not better. And I honestly don't miss going on tour. I'm 77, and I've done over 4,500 shows. I've gone how many flights. I have 2 young boys that need me. I have David, as my husband, that needs me. I love spending time with my boys, and I love being here at this house. And I understand why people find it hard to stop, but I didn't find it hard at all.
Joining from their home, Elton's husband David, who co-directed the film.
What I find so inspiring about Elton's life story is the fact that you can surf through so much adversity and setbacks.
The documentary is spectacular. You co-directed it with R.J. Cutler.
Yes.
So what was that experience like for you, David?
I was really lucky. RJ is such a great documentarian. I also knew that I could bring a very unique insight into the true Elton and our family.
Their 2 sons, Zachary and Elijah, on stage at Elton's final U.S. show at Dodger Stadium in 2022, an ode to where his career skyrocketed nearly 50 years ago.
This hangs in our kitchen, and that's that beautiful moment on stage at Dodgers when Elton wanted the world to really see and feel why he made the big decision to stop touring.
Do they know what a big deal their dad is?
They do and they don't. I think one of the things that Elton's always done, he does a show, he comes home, he doesn't talk a lot about what he does, he doesn't play his music all the time in the house. He's daddy.
And the last question, the legacy question, Elton John, what do you want your legacy to be?
My music speaks for itself. My legacy was I was a great husband and an even better father, and I think he would agree with that.
I will second that.
Beautiful.
The music, the career is fantastic. It's been mind-blowing, groundbreaking. But the most important thing to me in my life is making sure my children are happy, they have a wonderful life, and that I was good to them. That's all that counts.
I always enjoy sitting down with Elton John and invite me into his home like that. And he said of everything that he's doing, the most important role to him is that of being dad. That's what he calls his most important role. And you can see Never Too Late, Never Too Late. It is streaming right now on Disney+.
And coming up here next, behind the scenes of Jason Kelce's new Christmas album, For a Great Cause. Welcome back. We have a look now at Jason Kelce and his former Eagles teammates. They recorded their 3rd holiday album with help from rock legend Stevie Nicks, Boys to Men, a whole lot more. Lori Bergamotto spoke with some of the men behind the record. His Philly special Christmas party is for a great cause.
The Birds are back, spreading holiday cheer for a good cause with another holiday album, a Philly special Christmas party.
We started this 3 years ago to really try and brighten people's times during the holidays.
This year's record is a grand conclusion to the trilogy from Eagles legend Jason Kelce and his former Birds teammates, Lane Johnson and Jordan Mailata.
What made this 3rd album so special for you?
Getting a group of people together to sing songs about Christmas, to raise funds for children in Philly. That's probably the most special part about it.
Musical guests include Philly's own Boys to Men. And yes, Stevie Nicks. Their collab on Maybe This Christmas heating up the holiday charts, even dethroning the Queen of Christmas herself, Mariah Carey.
Thank you for coming out!
Ahead of the album's release, lucky Eagles fans got a front row seat to a special live performance with Philly favorite Mount Joy and their new tune, Santa Drives an Astro Van.
You know Santa drives an Astro Van!
It ended up being incredible. We were really engulfed with fans. It was a fun time.
The Birds' first 2 albums raising more than $4.5 million, supporting over 40 charities in the Philly area.
A lot of friends spending quality time together and having fun.
For Good Morning America, Lori Bergamotto, ABC News, New York.
Loved hearing that. This year, the guys have teamed up with the Fund for the School District of Philadelphia to launch Operation Snowball. It's an ambitious program to give holiday gifts to every single kid in the Philadelphia Public School District. The album, the Philly Special Christmas Party, is out now, and the proceeds go to support Operation Snowball.
I love that, Operation Snowball.
Now with one of my favorite holiday memories ever. My 2 very curious boys wanted to know how St. Nick makes the magic of Christmas morning happen. So I went to the experts. 'Twas the night before Christmas when all through the house not a creature was stirring.
Mom, how does Santa come in our house?
Until Adrian and his questions pounce.
How?
I think like Tim Allen.
How many houses?
I don't know, like 92 million?
All in one night?
Yeah, I'm gonna need some help.
Well, I did a calculation.
This is Don Lincoln. He's a scientist and an expert in how Santa delivers the goods all in one night. He says there are 2 billion kids on the planet, but lucky for Santa, they don't all celebrate Christmas. Only about 15% of them do. But he still has to visit some 92 million homes. And because of time zones and variations in sunrise and sunsets, he has a little bit more time than you think, about 32 hours of darkness. But in order to span the 42 million miles in that time, he has to move really fast. About 800 houses every single second.
Which is fast enough to go from New York City to Los Angeles in 6 seconds.
To travel that fast, he needs some special fuel.
We think that Santa eats the cookies, but you know, what Santa is doing is actually taking the cookies and using that energy to power the sleigh.
That makes a lot more sense because we use corn and soybeans and pretty much everything at this point.
And the reindeer? Well, we think they might get some of their energy from reindeer toothpaste, which turns out is pretty easy to make.
Who is ready to make reindeer toothpaste?
Me!
Yes! You need a packet of yeast, warm water. Mix this together. That's the warm water and the yeast. So once that gets mixed up, I'm gonna take extra care in pouring some hydrogen peroxide.
Parents, you should handle the hydrogen peroxide.
A dash of dish soap.
After adding some red and green food coloring, combine the mixtures.
Here it comes! Whoa! Feel the bottle. Ooh, it feels warm because we're having an exothermic reaction. And you know that energy is going to power the reindeer.
Well, wait a minute. What about the presents? Gifts for all those kids would weigh more than 300,000 tons. So instead, I think he just uses a 3D printer. And finally, how does he know if you've been naughty or nice? He gets help with special Santa software. It pings him when you send a mean text or you post something unkind online. He stores it all on a massive computer server, and that has to stay cool. Why else would he live at the North Pole? Adrian and Miles's questions have gotten a bit tougher since then, but Santa is still and will always be a welcome guest at our house. We've got the milk, the cookies, all waiting. Coming up here, my return to the ballroom, going behind the scenes of the 500th episode of Dancing with the Stars. And we're off to see the sights of Paris with Lara and James Longman. Plus, we've got a special Christmas performance by the Trans-Siberian Orchestra. Don't miss it.
Good morning, America. It's 8 a.m. and Merry Christmas. In this season of giving, how one young man, my beloved nephew, helping a stranger to have a second chance, giving them the gift of life with a stem cell transplant.
Santa, tell me if you're really there.
Taking a spin. Ryan Seacrest and Vanna White tell us all about their first season together on Wheel of Fortune and the joy they get at giving all that money away.
It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas.
Let's go to the City of Lights. Bonjour. Celebrating the sights, sounds, and tastes of Paris. It's all magnifique.
And Snoop Dogg Santa, the rap icon, movie star, and Martha's best friend, tells us about his special project and his dedication to give kids hope year-round. Plus, we're ringing in the holiday with the Trans-Siberian Orchestra and the Young People's Chorus of New York City, performing one of their holiday classics as we say, Good Morning America and Merry Christmas. Good morning, America. Merry Christmas to everyone at home and everyone here in our studio. Thank you for joining us on this Christmas morning.
We're here, but we're not really here. We want to let you know that we're pre-recorded this morning, so all of us can celebrate at home too. Hope you don't mind about that. We hope you're having a great holiday, and we're bringing you some of our favorite moments from 2024 with stories that really meant so much to us.
Merry Christmas to all of you. One of the things we're going to talk about is my favorite interviews of the year. And one of them was sitting down with Griffin Dunn, whose memoir, The Friday Afternoon Club, tells the intimate story of his famous family. I also have some of my favorite books for the year.
Well, right now we want to get to the morning's top headlines with Erielle Reshef.
Good Christmas morning to you, Michael. We begin this half hour with President Joe Biden's decision to commute the sentences of nearly all the federal inmates on death row. President-elect Donald Trump is attacking Biden's decision. He's promising to direct the Justice Department to expand the federal death penalty. ABC's Nicole D'Antonio has the story.
This morning, growing reaction over President Biden's decision to commute the death sentences of 37 federal inmates. President-elect Donald Trump posting on social media saying he will direct the Justice Department to, quote, vigorously pursue the death penalty when he takes office. Some of the victims' families are also slamming President Biden's decision.
We were told that per the Constitution, this is the final answer, which is very frustrating to hear.
When President Biden took office, he paused all federal executions. As a devout Catholic, President Biden has said he believes the death penalty should only be used in cases of hate-motivated mass murder and terrorism. Now, only 3 men remain on federal death row: the surviving Boston Marathon bomber, the mass shooter who attacked the Tree of Life synagogue in Pittsburgh, and the gunman who killed 9 people at Charleston, South Carolina's Mother Emanuel AME Church. While some of the victims' families expressed anger with Biden's decision, some advocacy groups are urging the president to make it more difficult for President-elect Trump to use capital punishment in the future. Nicole D'Antonio, ABC News, Washington.
Nicole, our thanks to you. Pope Francis is delivering his annual Christmas message today after celebrating a midnight mass. The Pope kicked off Jubilee 2025 by knocking to open the Great Holy Door of St. Peter's Basilica. The once every 25-year tradition is expected to draw 32 million pilgrims. Turning now to data privacy, a new consumer report suggests that certain smart appliances that connect with an app might be recording users through their phones. ABC's Andrew Dimbert has more.
This morning, an appliance known for frying might actually be spying. Experts say certain air fryers and other app-connected appliances are harvesting users' data.
They're taking information like, are you male or female? They are taking your location. They're checking to see where you are.
Concerns about data harvesting aren't new, but air fryers are feeling the heat after a recent report from a consumer watchdog group. They claim popular fryers from Igostar and Xiaomi are not only sharing data with companies like Facebook and TikTok, but also storing users' data on Chinese servers. Some experts are even speculating the devices are recording conversations.
The Chinese companies, when you load in their application, they're effectively asking for access to your microphone. Now, they've produced a few excuses as to why they're asking for this information, but it's very, very suspect.
Igostar did not comment on that consumer report, and Xiaomi denied selling personal information to third parties or that their air fryer recorded audio, writing, "Respecting user privacy has always been among Xiaomi's core values." So how can consumers protect their data when buying a connected device? Experts say do your research on a company's data collection practices, read reviews, and when downloading an app to control the device, limit as many permissions you give as possible.
It may ask you for access to your contacts. It may ask you access to your location. It might ask you to access the microphone, and you can say no, no, and double no.
When in doubt, stick with an appliance that doesn't connect to the internet or your phone.
Consumers should demand better privacy protections from manufacturers and regulators. And until those are in place, really the safest bet is to stay informed, minimize your exposure, and push back against unnecessary data collection.
Lawmakers are also concerned about the issue. The Consumer Financial Protection Bureau is asking Congress to regulate brokers who buy and sell Americans' personal data without their knowledge.
Andrew, thank you. We are following breaking news this morning. A plane crash out of Kazakhstan. Around 70 people were on board the Azerbaijan Airlines flight headed for Russia, and authorities say that about half of them survived. There was fog in the area, but the cause of the crash is still under investigation.
Welcome back to GMA on this Christmas morning, and this is a story that is very close to my heart. In our series, One Match, Second Chance, that second chance usually refers to the person in need of a stem cell transplant, but this time it's about a donor, and that donor is my nephew, Jeremiah. Here is his journey.
Sometimes treatment for cancer can lead to other serious medical
issues, and that's what I'm facing right now.
This was the moment I shared my diagnosis of MDS, myelodysplastic syndrome.
It is a rare blood disorder that affects the bone marrow.
And my need for a life-saving stem cell transplant. Thankfully, my eldest sister, Sally Ann, was my perfect match.
She is going to be my donor. She's going to be my donor.
But 70% of patients don't have a fully matched donor in their family and must rely on donations from strangers on the registry for their best chance at a cure.
Constant roar return.
My sister's healthy cells giving me the gift of life.
The hospital, and we begin what we call the 5 phases of transplant. And if you think about it, it's the 5 phases of your journey. Okay. The first phase is the chemotherapy. I think now is a good time to say, go Sally, go!
There is nothing but joy in knowing that you have something in your body that can save another human being's life.
My nephew, Jeremiah, who I lovingly call Little Jer, the kid who loved wearing his Spider-Man suit, watching on throughout the journey.
I think what stands out to me most about that time is just my aunt's unwavering strength.
Sally Ann convincing her then teenage son to sign up for the registry.
Basically, my mom voluntold me to sign up, right? Like kind of like a mandatory suggestion.
And to his surprise, shortly later, he got the call. He was a match, but he said no.
Unfortunately, at the time, I just was thinking about me. I was acting selfishly, and I didn't heed the call. Up until this point, I was very, very sure that that was going to be the biggest mistake of my life.
But he'd have a second chance. This past January, Jeremiah learning once again he's a match.
Because I've been thinking about that person every single day, it was just impossible for me to not say yes.
He did not hesitate. He was ready.
This time, Jer's all in.
It is the first day for the shots.
He'll need 5 days of injections to help stimulate his blood stem cells to prepare for donation day.
All right, look at that. That's how you do it.
NMDP, formerly Be the Match, facilitating it all, covering the cost for flights, hotel, transportation, Jeremiah traveling from New York to Houston for the big day.
All right, made it to the hotel, and everything's fine. Definitely feeling some of those aches.
As donation day arrives, I couldn't help but check in on my nephew to wish him well.
Hey, Jer.
Hey, Auntie. Hey.
Those fears that you had the first time around, how are you feeling?
What I'm doing here versus what this person is going through, it's just incomparable.
You're a superhero. You're a superhero.
I'm trying to do the right thing for the second time.
A temporary inconvenience for a life-saving impact.
I'm very proud of you. You know how much I love you.
I'm just grateful to God that I can go from pretending to be a hero to growing older, learning what is important, and actually saving a life. I'm very thankful.
You know, I never knew that. I never knew that he did not do it the first time. He was holding such shame about that, and it was something that was really, he was so grateful to get that second chance, and when he did, he didn't hesitate, and he said it was him that got the second chance, giving that person.
Good for him. Great story, Robin.
And you can find out about being a donor from the National Marrow Donor Program. Go to nmdp.org.
All right, great. Great job by Jeremiah there. And now we're going to go to my conversation with entrepreneur, actor, and rapper Snoop Dogg. Yep.
It's like,
a big turn. A lot of fun, though, because we sat down to talk about his 3-decade career, which has been filled with surprises and new chapters, including his latest movie and making new music. Hits like Who Am I catapulted Snoop Dogg to hip-hop fame in the 90s. Later, Drop It Like It's Hot would bring him to the top of the Billboard charts.
Drop it like it's hot, drop it like it's hot.
Now, 3 decades in, the 16-time Grammy nominee is a business mogul and pop culture icon. To be in the music business, to be a businessman, to be an actor, to be a producer, to do all those things, how are you able to compartmentalize everything?
I'm mastering the craft of who I am.
And to be the best who I am is to do the things that make me feel good. And the main two things is fun, right? F-U-N and F-U-N-D-S. If it makes funds and it's fun, I'm in.
Oh, I'm feeling that one. Snoop is having a lot of fun on screen in his movie The Underdogs. Playing 2J's, a former pro athlete court-ordered to do public service coaching youth football.
I am football legend Jason 2J's Jennings, your new head coach.
So how much of you is in 2J's?
I say about 85%, and then 15% is my coach, K-Mac, because his spirit is the same way as far as the way he coaches with intensity and foul language. You know, the old school style of coaching. Before we can be the best, we gotta master the fundamentals. Pretty boy, you missing pass after pass.
I love the title of the film, Underdogs.
With 2 G's, from underdog to wonderdog. I started off as an underdog, you know? That's the best dog to ever be, because you're the one that they don't pay attention to. So you gotta try to figure out how to master you to where you become the greatest you could be.
I'm recommending community service with the Long Beach Recreations Department.
I thought I was getting like some Martha Stewart kind of treatment.
And you got the great cameos in this film, by the way. George Lopez, he played your high school coach. Mike Epps plays your assistant coach. Candy Burris plays the judge. Tony Gonzalez is in the movie.
Michael Strahan, you in there too. Would you like for me to show you? You can hit play. You know, some would say, who needs family when you got money, fame, and your own TV talk show? You know, I was at the pinnacle of my comeback when Gap 2, Michael Strahan told me I was about to become a part of his family. But you see, he ain't a part of my family. Y'all are. You see that?
I ain't gonna lie to you, man. That's not what I was expecting.
What?
That's not what I was expecting. I was about to say.
That's your Oscar award-winning. Underdogs on 3, underdogs on me. 1, 2, 3.
What's my name? What made you want to make this film?
I believe my youth football league inspired me to make this film, and then the relationship that I had with so many kids that came out of my league.
Off-screen, he is known as Coach Snoop. His love of sports driving him to create a youth football league, making the sport accessible to kids in his community.
I started asking how much did it cost, and the prices was $350 a kid, and it was just so much to keep the kids from not playing. I spent my money on brand new equipment, bought fields that we rented, referees, rule books, everything. We did it all the right way.
You talked about how lucky it is you were able to find something that didn't let you get caught up in the streets. Is that part of why you do the league, to kind of give the kids some hope?
Yeah, man. Football was the best thing that ever happened to me as a kid, Mike. It taught me how to have discipline and to have respect. So I wanted to give some of that back that was given to me.
As you can see, we had a lot of fun talking about what Snoop has done in the past, what he's doing in the future. We're all looking
Don't talk
forward.
too much about it.
Always looking forward to new music. That's what I'm most excited about.
Yeah. We're going to take another turn to one of my favorite interviews of the year, Griffin Dunn. He's an actor, director, producer behind some of your favorite movies. He's also a writer, and we talked about his memoir about his famous family called The Friday Afternoon Club.
I didn't even know what the title was going to be, but I knew the subtitle was always going to be a family memoir. And it wasn't going to be like a, my personal career kind of celebrity kind of thing. There are a lot of celebrities in it, but it was impossible to tell my parents and our growing up without all these drive-bys with just famous people all my life. And when I was writing it, I was stunned by the amount of names that our lives intersected with, of all these extraordinary people. And
it's also a beautiful story of a friendship, your friendship with Carrie Fisher. Tell everybody about your late nights sharing a typewriter.
So we were roommates, and not far from here. And she'd be in her room. A typical night would be, and I thought of this, by the way, it's not in the book. I realized this later after I wrote the book. I thought of this. And I'd be in my room, I'd be reading, and she'd be in her room. And we just got into IBM Selectric, those great big things that hum really loud. And all of a sudden I'd be in my room and I would hear it. And I go, game on. And she'd go back, and then it would be the first line of some piece of dialogue, just ridiculously funny opening line, and then I would counter.
Well, of course, the whole book is haunted by the murder of your sister.
Yeah.
I can't imagine how difficult it was to revisit all those moments.
It was difficult, not in a writer's block kind of way, but just reliving it, and from the attack and then through the trial, which was a travesty, where the man who killed her only got 3.5 years. They didn't even call it murder. But I just wanted to get it down and get it right, and I didn't have to say, oh, this is terrible. Oh, it was implicit. If I just lay down the facts, and the reader will be horrified, as horrified as we were.
It was horrifying. It was horrifying to read. You dedicate the book to your brother Alex.
Yes, I do.
How did he take it?
Well, I wanted to write, as I said, a family memoir, and I called up my brother Alex, who is just so wildly intelligent, such a brilliant, original character, and much loved. And I said, Alex, I want to write this book, but I can't write about our family without writing about you. And he is fine now, but he went through, struggles with mental issues and bipolar, some 20-something years ago, because in his brilliant mind. And he said, Griffin, write whatever you want about me. Just have it come from a place of love.
Enjoyed that book so much. Here's some of my other favorites from the year. My friend Harlan Coben, one of the best thriller writers out there. My favorite, Think Twice. Also, Doris Kearns Goodwin, I don't know if you know her, the historian.
Yeah, of course.
She was married to Richard Goodwin. They met during the Kennedy administration. And this is their love story. It is a beautiful, beautiful book. And then finally, Immortals. He wrote Gentleman in Moscow. I remember that. This year his book was Table for Two. He's one of the
everybody
most
talked about that.
elegant and insightful writers out there.
Can I borrow all three?
You can have all three right here.
Thank you.
Actually, all four. Merry Christmas, Lara.
Thank you.
I would take a regift if, when you're through with those.
As soon as I'm done, it'll be our own little book club.
Thank you so much. Until then, though, how about we get into one of my favorite experiences of the year? We went backstage to the ballroom in the 500th episode of Dancing with the Stars. So before Joey and Jenna won and got the Mirror Ball trophy, I went behind the scenes of 33 seasons of salsas, celebrities, and perfect tens.
Come in.
Are you ready?
Oh, I'm so much more ready than I was just moments ago.
Sequence.
Yes.
My
Let's
favorite.
Go.
Let's go.
The Mirror Ball is waiting. I didn't win it, but now I've got it on. So good to be home again.
My girl June.
How are you, Ginger? How are you?
I remember what you had and I like very much.
Oh.
Is your touch.
Oh, did I?
Ah, you see?
Yours is better than mine.
That is hot weather.
The stars feeling the heat for the 500th episode. It's a big episode. But huge. We're very excited. Like no extra pressure.
No,
like
you extra pressure, let's be honest.
This is really so special to be here for such a milestone.
Backstage, I had to check one thing off my list.
That
Sam, that is how you do it.
Well done.
Now, into the ballroom. This is what I remember. Full audience, all the lights, that background music, and the anticipation. The night full of excitement on the dance floor. That kind of encompasses what 500 episodes is. That's what 500 episodes is. It's one of those emotional, feel-good moments to celebrate the love. Yours truly getting to share the love. And I'm so proud to be a small, small part of what has been the fabric of this show. All of these great people.
Carrie Ann.
A big night of tens. After nabbing the first 10 of the season weeks earlier and reaching new heights, Dwight Howard and Daniela's journey coming to an end.
Oh, I had an amazing experience. Danielle is an amazing partner.
Endless great memories, George.
I'll bet
we'll get you one time.
No, you won't.
Welcome back to GMA on this Christmas morning. And we're enjoying this look back at some of our favorite moments of the year. I hope you are too. And Lara, you're on one. What do you have for us?
You know what? I drew the lucky straw and was really so thrilled to be able to cover the Olympics in Paris. And I got to do it with our colleague and my dear friend James Longman. And we did a lot more than taking just the Summer Games. We came, we saw, we shopped, we ate, going to some truly iconic French spots. Here's our adventure in one of the world's most spectacular cities.
home to breathtaking architecture, famous monuments, museums, and charming cafes, it's no wonder nearly 37 million people visit Paris every year. From the finest food to the most luxurious shopping, GMA is hitting the City of Light ahead of the Summer Games. Our first stop, the award-winning Tout Autour du Pain Bakery, founded in 1859.
Hi, Chef Benjamin. Bonjour.
Bonjour.
Master baker Benjamin Tourcaire has the perfect mix for the best croissant.
You guys have won some serious contests.
We won 2 times the best croissant of Paris, 2012 and 16.
The best croissant in Paris?
In Paris, yes.
I mean, that's like the best croissant in the world.
To make croissant, it takes 3 days.
Okay.
We create...
You got 3 days.
I'm gonna go get my overnight bag.
You have flour, water, sugar, salt, yeast, and the milk.
And of course, butter.
Wow, this is hard. No wonder you use the machine. This is the Olympic
Olympic croissant rolling.
From croissant to the perfect spread, mustard, first used in Dijon, France, has become ingrained in French culture, if you will. So we came to Mustard headquarters, the My Shop in Paris, a staple since 1747.
I have never seen anything like this. This is a mustard tasting bar.
Absolutely.
Brilliant. How do you take your mustard, Laura?
I only know Dijon mustard.
But do you like strong, not too strong, with flavors?
I've never had it with flavors except honey mustard, but I like it not too spicy.
But if you want specific like Chardonnay and black truffle, you have to come to Paris or in Dijon.
Now let's shop in what's more French than perfume. So for that we head to Nicolas, because Paris is the perfume capital of the world. And Damien helps us pick out the perfect scent.
Is it true that France is the perfume capital of the world?
Yes, and it's that way since Marie Antoinette, actually.
Now it's time to make our own GMA scent.
Musk, which is very strong to keep the smell. Then you put also neroli, which is orange flower essence, and then you put bergamot. Hop, and with you. Here we go. So this is your creation. Good Morning America creation.
It is fresh.
Good morning, America.
The world, yes.
So the next stop is L'Olaire. This is the oldest beret store in France.
Bonjour. The star of the day.
Exactly.
The beret. I mean, when I think of France, I think this is the most iconic.
Exactly, the symbol of France.
Why is that?
The workers and farmers used to wear the beret to protect themselves from rain or sun.
So you're going to measure my head?
I'm going to measure your head.
My melon head.
So it's 59. It's not as big as you saw.
Aureliane is the co-founder and guide of We Taste Paris, taking us on a wine and cheese tour in a private cellar.
Let's talk cheese.
Exactly.
Fromage, everybody.
How many varieties of cheese in France?
So there's about 1,200 types of cheeses in France. Yeah. Of course, you can't have great cheese without great wine.
Oh, of course.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers, everyone.
To fromage. My favorite part was bringing James to his very first flea market. He was somewhat terrified, but by the end, I had him completely converted. He even brought home a couple of treasures. Yeah, the whole trip, c'est magnifique. Ooh. All right, coming up, no more French. Instead, Ginger will spin the wheel going behind the scenes with Vanna White and Ryan Seacrest.
Now with my spin behind the scenes of Wheel of Fortune, right as Ryan Seacrest took the wheel as host. It was a thrill being on that iconic set at the very moment when the beloved show was making a big change.
The category is Next Host, and we'd like to solve the puzzle. Ryan Seacrest officially taking the reins on Wheel of Fortune, and he's already full of smiles.
I mean, it's Wheel of Fortune. How can you not be happy? It's Wheel of Fortune.
It's energetic, it's positive, it's fun. I'm so excited.
And I was thinking about those words. Like, we all use those very frivolously, but like in something like this is like monumental. I mean, I don't want to put too much on it.
It's out of body for me,
Yeah.
you know, to have watched Vanna and watched this show and Pat and what they built with audiences across this country and what this show means to people in their living rooms every night and their families and generations of people who have watched this show. It is a very special thing that just doesn't exist anywhere else.
Is there something that you've done to prepare for this job specifically?
This job, yes, I've watched endless episodes of Pat and Vanna on Wheel of Fortune. We have played mock Wheel of Fortune games in many cities across America, depending on where I am, on conference tables, in meeting rooms. We've had makeshift wheels and makeshift contestants for months, just to sort of get the gameplay down and the time and the pacing down.
We have $1 million winner.
For 4 decades, Vanna White has been entertaining families at that famous puzzle board.
Here we go. Here we go. Kick it!
Oh, what the heck. It's a family show that everyone of all ages watch and enjoy, and they still do. They want to solve the puzzle. Yes. You know, if you're walking by the TV and it's half solved, you're going to stop and say, all right, I got to get this puzzle. Then I can do what I need to do. Mm-hmm. You're just addicted.
This season, debuting a sleek new set.
Let me show you.
It's like a magic wand. Come on.
I don't even have to touch the letter anymore. This is a blank screen with a video on it, right? Mm-hmm. There's lasers up there, so when I go to touch a letter, it catches the movement of my hand, so it lights up. Is that crazy?
Yeah. I do want to know what's behind the wall, because I stand behind my wall where I do weather, and I was like, oh my gosh, we have so much in common.
That's right. I go back there to see my puzzles. They put my puzzles on a graph.
It's the preview.
Yes.
But before I go.
Well, Ginger, welcome to the wheel.
Thank you.
You seem like the perfect contestant. The category is people.
Yes.
Okay. Popular morning shows.
Yes,
That's
okay.
the category. Okay. Go ahead
George
and give it a nice spin. Now, 600, spell his name.
I really did have a great time with Vanna and Ryan, and let me tell you, that wheel is heavy. You can see a Wheel of Fortune right here on ABC. Just check your local listings. Coming up, we've got a special Christmas performance by the Trans-Siberian Orchestra.
Back now with one of the best ways to spend Christmas morning, with music. Here with help from the Young People's Chorus of New York City is the Trans-Siberian Orchestra performing Christmas Canon.
Merry Christmas, 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 Merry
Big thanks to the Trans-Siberian Orchestra for putting us in the perfect mood for the holiday.
We wish a very Merry Christmas to everyone celebrating from all of us here at GMA.
And there are so many talented, beautiful people behind the scenes who work so hard to get our show on the air every morning. A huge, huge thank you to each and every one of them. We love you. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, everybody.
Merry Christmas.